Hi, welcome back to a new video. And yes, I'm speaking English because I decided to do this channel from now on in English. And also I've been gone for a while, and that's because I was cooking. I was working on my newest project, and that new project is 8inbox. In this video, I'm going to talk about what 8inbox is and what you can expect on this channel in the future, because I will take you along continue developing this tool and showing features and how things can be done with it. So what is 8inbox? 8inbox is inbox, but it's not your ordinary inbox like Gmail or like for support teams like Intercom or whatever tool you want to use to help your customers get the right answer. We as Shop for Tesla were struggling in the past to find the right tool to answer to our customers. And I was always playing in my mind with this game to challenge myself to create a new tool where we can answer our customers better and in a more effective way, and especially with AI. So that's 8inbox. 8inbox is the inbox made for automation and AI. And as you might have heard from the name, like 8inbox, it's 8inbox, but also there's the 8 because we work closely with n8n together. We give you just the interface for the inbox, and you have to build your brain yourself, but that gives you endless possibilities, and we actually help you with that. We offer a lot of presets so you can start right away. And I don't want to talk too much now and just jump in. And to do that, I will go into my demo account, and this is what you will see when you log in for your first time as well. You can add sample data, you can go into our wiki. So here I've documented everything, how 8inbox works. I will cover this now a little bit in this YouTube video. First steps, using AI, and so on. I will cover everything a little bit in this video so you get an idea. I don't want to start with the sample data. I have some more comprehensive data I want to use. So I have set up actually a random message generator, and I will now execute that. So when I jump into my inbox right now, it's still empty because the workflow is still running. For those who don't know n8n, n8n is a tool where you can create workflows like these. So this AI agent I have here, he gets a prompt from me and then uses this node to create a message in 8inbox, because we heavily rely on APIs and triggers. So I will jump into triggers in a second. API should, for everybody, should know about AIs. Here you just see what happened. I have set up a prompt. I can show you the whole prompt in our prompt library. So jump in here, dummy data generator. This is the prompt. Your job is to generate random messages, generate up to 5 messages, blah, blah, blah. These languages you can use. And some example I added here from our actual customers, so the AI kind of knows what to do. So this now ran, and it actually generated 5 messages. So when I jump back into inbox, I will have 5 messages. But the AI was just able to, as you can see here, it can generate just a message. So here's the body, here's the subject, and here is from whom this is. These are all fake names and all fake texts. Now this seems to be in Italian. And when I jump back into 8inbox, I see now all these messages, and out of a sudden I have additional information here. So I have an Italian flag here. This was actually the message that was sent. So buongiorno. So this is buongiorno. This is exactly that message. And I have an 8inbox. Suddenly I have a translation in English, but I also have a summary. Although the message created by the message dummy generator was in Italian. So what happened? I will explain you briefly. Every time an email comes into 8inbox, you can set up a trigger to run. So I set up the AI support demo trigger every time an email comes in. And what actually happened in the background was this. So here's another workflow, and this workflow is activated by a webhook. So the trigger in 8inbox calls a webhook in n8n, and then it goes through this workflow. So in the beginning, it just checks if I have the possibility to give the user up here, for example, I can say ignore, and then it is ignored. So that's just being checked here, but then it again goes into an AI. And this AI, I jump quickly into our prompt library. The prompt library is there to have a centralized place where you can set up your prompts. So this is here system prompt for message received, and it has one other advantage. You have a history, so you can see what actually was changed. So when many people work on this prompt and out of a sudden the AI generates some weird output, you can jump into the history and see what was actually changed to understand why the AI is suddenly working in a different way. So here's the AI, and it has different tasks. Like for those who know n8n, here are the tasks, and the tasks are, for example, create a label, create a category. When we jump into, I will open another tab because I'm jumping so much. Actually, I want to point that out. The loading speed is quite fast. When you watch our wiki videos, the ones I created there, the loading speed is quite slow. I figured there was a bug in the code, which I fixed. Now everything is fast. So don't worry about that. So this text has actually the tag, you can see here, customer support. And when we jump into n8n, we see this category tag was executed, and it had the information tag customer support. So that was what this sub workflow did. And it did that in this first step. If conversation has no category, define the category of the message with the instructions in the category instructions section. Save the category with the tool category. And here are the category instruction. It said it is a customer support, and a customer support is a customer asking, for example, for help with delivery product, blah, 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 blah. So that's the first task this AI did, and it generated this tag. Then there's another task we can jump in. What was supposed to do? Create a conversation summary. And when we see here, when I scroll over these messages, so every time I scroll over the list on the left side, I get a summary. So I can quickly see, hey, what does this customer actually want? So for example, here, customer asked for a full PayPal refund for a DHL returned order. But the Italian guy down here, customer asked if the frunk for the Model Y is compatible with a 2024 long-range version with comfort package and provides a VIN for confirmation. So that's the summary. And that is also done by this workflow, and it is saved. Conversation summary. It's saved here. But additionally, as I said, this message is in Italian. I don't speak Italian. Nobody from our team speaks Italian, but the AI figured out, hey, this is Italian, and the Italian is not the language our team speaks, so I will create an English translation. And this translation is saved here as a note with the title translation. Where's this done? It is done down here, so translate. And the task in the AI is set here. If the message is not in English, translate the original message without signature into English and use tool translate. So that is done in this AI and then saved by this API call down here. To give you an idea how the API calls look, just jump into that quickly. It's basically just an HTTP call to our API. It uses the message ID or conversation ID and message ID. Conversation ID actually is here not needed, but we can add it. And then it also uses, of course, authentication. I have videos about how to set that up in our wiki. And then this node gets saved because we store a lot of information in nodes. So translation is a node. It has just this type translation here. Then also summary is also a node, and these all get structured by tabs in the interface. You can add way more notes here, so they don't also have to be called translation. They can be called in a different way. Then I have a summary which sums the message. Actually, I in our it makes. Did I write it? Create a bullet point summary. Sometimes the AI just doesn't want to do it. Here it did it. Here it did it as well, but for this Italian guy, the AI didn't do it. So, but then also I want to maybe have a draft written. We actually, for our own support in Shop for Tesla, we connected our website with a vector database to the AI, so it knows about our products. And again, like this is the idea. 8inbox doesn't give you those features. It gives you the interface to show it to your team easily. And now here it seems like when I go into the draft message, yes, sorry, I still have a little mistake in the workflow. This sometimes happens. This, of course, needs to be expression. So that's why this message is in German, because it didn't. It just got this text, but it didn't get the original message. I had that wrong in the workflow. So that's, however, why he wrote this in German, because the subject is in German. But then we also, because now again, this is Italian, or it's supposed to be Italian, and nobody from the team understands Italian. So we added this English translation underneath it, so you can understand what here actually is written. And then you can just copy it to reply, and the English translation is ignored. And then, of course, I can send it out to the customer here. This is basically the workflow behind it. Like, you have all the tools to set up everything. So for example, when you use Shopify as your shop software, you can create a workflow which pulls down the information from Shopify about a specific order from the email address, for example, and display it here in 8inbox as a note. I'm already thinking about integrating also metadata. So this will come sooner or later. I will do a video about how we implemented it here. So you can have metadata implemented here. Of course, you can assign somebody else to the ticket. You have this typical open, waiting, closed information here, how you can handle the messages. Tag, you can completely set them up however you want them. So you can have tag groups and then add different types. You can snooze messages. You can label your messages. Of course, you have filter, all that you need. You can jump around here. When I assign here, for example, I assign others. Oh no, I don't have others set up in the saved view. So also these filters you can easily set up. You can jump around here. We give you the interface. That again is the idea behind it. And now I will show you how easy it is to set up triggers, because triggers is so important. As you might have already noticed, we have here a strange button. We have also here a strange button. That is just to show you how triggers can be set up. There are many different ways. Like, for example, when a message comes in, a trigger can be fired. When a message is sent, a trigger can be fired or needs to be fired, because that's how we send messages. You don't set up like a Gmail account in 8inbox, but you set up a workflow that sends emails to 8inbox. But that's super easy to set up, because when you go to add trigger and you say message sent, you can say action is n8n, and then you can just select a workflow, a preset, or you can actually use accounts here. And here we already have set up presets you can use. So for example, this is the preset we use here to send emails. And this is the workflow we use to receive emails. They are already integrated. You can just with one click install them. You just have to give us your n8n key. You can do that under profile settings, and then n8n you can n8n you can give us your access token, or you can, when you go down in the library preset library, you can For example, if you want to have the AI support assistance, you can simply just download the n8n workflow. Now you get a JSON, or this is a bug in Chrome, you know, like this never goes away. That's very annoying. Or the other way is to just click here and then the workflow gets created in your n8n account like this. So how do I close this now? Okay, I got it. Okay, let's jump back to triggers. Now you saw that. Now when I want to have like, when, for example, forwarding a message, I thought about how that should work. And there you would use a manual message button or a manual message trigger. And I will just write down 1, 2, so you will see it. I will say, hey, I will want to have a blank preset. I can have user input. I will show you what that does. And then I can also select a prompt that is automatically sent with this trigger every time this trigger is called. So let's just do, for example, our signature. That was a test I lately set up. Now I can say create trigger. The workflow is generated. And now here I have this trigger. And that means when I jump back into the inbox, this button down here is automatically generated. And when I click, now we will have an error. I get this form, so I can write down something, and that's the user input, and I can confirm, and now I will have an error. I can see it here. No, I don't want to see the logs, but here is the error. For trigger monitoring, we also set up here an overview when something fails. And yes, automatically is also send an email. That's why this trigger just ran. And when I jump back into, I get an email, automation failed, automation in your inbox failed. So that was just sent. But I wanted to show you a little bit more. The trigger now fails because I didn't activate it. So I have to save it before I do anything. Let's change owner. So now it is actually active. And here I just write some random stuff. I can jump back into our messages. Let's go to this message. And now I can click 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Confirm. Now, I have to activate it. Even I have to do that. Yes, great. And now I can click test. Confirm. Now it is running. We can view the execution and we just jump in there. Great. You see that's very easy to set up because we have to set up authentication here, of course, as well. So here we have it. And now one last time is the charm. Of course. Now I can debug and I can say execute, and now this should end. Here, it's finished. Here is the response. That's how I set it up. I just wrote down your response, and to show you what the trigger actually sent to the n8n workflow, I want to jump in. Here is the conversation. Here is the user input I put in. And when we scroll down, here is also the prompt I created. It's just very, very short, but that's also sent to the workflow every time the trigger is called. So how can you use that? That's what I will work on next, is that you can click here and forward this email to a specific person. We have input buttons down here. Here I can have easily a translation. I think I actually have a translation. Hello, how are you? Set up behind it. So when I click here, it takes this information and sends it to the workflow. And now, as this message is in German, it translated my English text into German. So here you could have different buttons. So for example, compose, like to shorten your message, or you just write down, when you write an email to your customer support, you just write bullet points and you create a compose button where the AI extends your bullet points into a text. And then of course you can just send it. So this is like a very short overview of what I have created here. It cost me quite a lot of time over the last couple of months, but we use it in production already. You can see that I have documented a lot. You can view how things work. Some things I still have to do, but most of them are documented. The API is documented down here. You can see how everything works. Yes. So we have a Discord channel. You can join me there. I would really look forward to hear from you, get more ideas on how we can improve. And yeah, thanks for watching. More videos are to come about 8inbox. Looking forward for your comments and what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.